So while Hickory was down for the count, I bought myself a horse trailer so that way when he was better, we could start going on horse adventures. So it took a little longer than I thought, but that's okay. During the winter, my friend Sherry got a round pen for the farm, which was fun and exciting. I got to see how those were put together, and then I got to use it in April once he was released to do light work. So that was a really fun moment. I think it's 60 foot round, if I'm correct, that she bought. And it was actually a lot bigger than I realized with using it. I had a friend who had an 80-foot round, so I could only imagine how much space would be in one of those. But as he started, just kind of moving his body, I was just seeing how his legs worked, how his gaits were, walk, trot, canter, if he was responsive, because it had been some months since we had really got to do anything. Just kind of been hanging out for the last 4 months. Of course, because it's April, the spring grass is becoming abundant, so it's a lot more interesting than me. So I'm just trying to work with him and get him to focus on what I'm asking him to do. So that's what you'll see me kind of working on here, is just asking him to move through gaits and seeing how he does with that. He's always showing me more and more every day how possible it is to work with him and be with him. So he looks pretty good here. This was some of the first moments of us working together after he injured himself and got released. So just exciting to see him move so freely. Here we are learning our trailer loading. This was harder than I thought it was going to be, because I know that he had been trailered before, but obviously I had never seen him get in a trailer and be loaded in a trailer. So it took me a while to get to, I would say it took me probably a month or so to get to the point where I could get him to get on, want to be there, hang out, and it be my idea for us to back off, and then eventually closing the slant bar and then going on adventures, which I will absolutely show you our first adventures, which just happened a week ago. So you'll get to follow along with all of that. But I just kind of wanted to show you some of our initial practices as we're kind of like really waiting for spring and summer weather to start to kick in. But yeah, I really feel like he did amazing, and he came along really fast, and I'm at the point now where, he starts to test and wants to see, like, do I really have to do these things? But what a learning experience and what an awesome ride this has been. So I really hope that for those of you who are watching and joining in on this, you're learning something, and I'm always happy to, share more or less of my journey. I don't know how much people actually want to watch certain things, but I do like to share a lot of this, because a lot of times you just see videos of people who know what they're doing and horses that know what they're doing, and whenever you're new to all that and you have a new horse and you don't know what each other doesn't know and you're trying to maneuver it, these are one of those moments that I think it's good to share. So now, let's see, we are into May, I believe, at this point, and I have been doing mounting block work to try to get him to relax at the mounting block. It's going pretty well. I would say we're probably 2 or 3 weeks into that, so this is some of our first small rides that we're doing together. One thing that I'm running into is somebody had taught him how to step up to the block, which is a fun little trick, but it doesn't really like invest him and make him necessarily want to be there or pay attention. So he tends to want to kind of scoot around. He wants to reach his head back and not necessarily bite my boot or bite me, but he will smell the boot or mouth at my boot. So just trying to teach him, like, no, you need to stand at the block, stand quietly, stand relaxed, and wait for me. So that has been actually quite a journey, because I find it causes a lot of tension in me whenever he doesn't stand still. So just trying to work past that and just tell him, like, no, this is what I want you to do. Stand still, relaxed, balanced, ready for the rider to get on. So that's what you see whenever I feel like he's fidgeting, or he's not standing still, or he's not lining up to the mounting block where I can get on. You'll see me kind of explore guiding him around the block in a circle. I had talked with a lady named Chelsea Kennedy. You've probably heard of her. She's an awesome horsewoman. And she had mentioned not getting off the block and letting the horse walk around the block and giving him that responsibility to do so. And then I went on to work with another trainer that I'll post some video of, and her name's Kaylin, and she was the same way. The only difference is she just added some more rein guidance into it. And I think that has really started us working towards a positive. And I'll have to build those videos and put those together so that you can see. But these are our initial steps towards that, to find that quietness, to find that communication, to find that focus. So it takes me longer to mount than, what I dream of, but practice is progress, and every time we practice, progress finds its way. Also, just remembering to breathe, remembering to go with the flow, being patient. Those are all big key things that I think most people that ride horses know, but sometimes it's easy to forget, especially whenever you're like really focused on something. You can just kind of get pigeonholed in your brain, and then just forget to take extra little deep breaths or things like that, or even forgetting to talk to the horse. Sometimes, like, you're so focused on what you're doing, you're forgetting to tell them that they're a good boy and what you want them to do, walk, trot, stop. And so really building a good level of communication is always a lot of fun. So you'll see us start to work on our walk-off cue with just small squeeze of the calves, and trying to figure out a good level of communication, because he wants to come back to the mounting block, probably because he thinks that's the right answer, and he knows that he does well and he gets praised there. So now just getting him to realize, like, okay, the mounting block work is done. The next playful step that we take is for our walk and our guidance. So you'll kind of see me work towards that as I'm practicing squeezing of the calves, asking him to move forward. He does so. He wants to circle back to the block. He'll stop. And I don't get after him about that. I just let him walk. He stops, and then I carry on and ask him to walk forward again. You'll see in other videos as we move ahead that I'll ask for more. I'll kind of step up the ante, as they say. You will see him mouth at the bit here. He'll kind of want to reach down and stretch out. I'm thinking that this is a little bit of a stress behavior. It has started to go away recently. So I think the certainty of our riding getting more consistent, our rein aids getting more consistent, leg aids getting more consistent, has helped some of that stress and bit tension go away. So that's what you'll kind of see as I move forward. He's just getting better and better and more relaxed. Still has a little bit of tension here. You'll see that reach down as he tries to kind of figure out the bit. The one trainer that I talked with and worked with, Kaylin, she thinks that there could be, like in dressage sometimes, or just certain English practices where you have more contact on the bit, certain riders can kind of hang on that bit or want to force the horse into a position. So he might have gotten sick of being forced into a position. Along with that here, you'll see him kind of get tense. You saw him kind of spun around a little bit. That creates a little bit of tension in me, so I have to learn how to say, you're fine, move on, move forward. So you'll kind of see him do that again. He's going to flick his tail. He's thinking it through. He's going to kind of spin around here like, I don't know that I want to do this or do that or do what you're thinking. And he's like, I'm back to this block. I know this is the right answer. And then we just kind of work on that level of forward, that level of communication. I totally have tension. I totally have some level of concern because I don't understand why he's that way. I do decide at one point to jump off there, take a minute, go for a walk, and then we got back on here. And then we walk off again. And so you can see where he's like, we're doing this again. And I'm like, yep, we sure are. And so I'm just asking him, just little squeezes, let's walk forward. Little squeezes, let's walk forward. And because I'm not, this amazing Olympic or 5-star eventer, I have some worry and confidence issues because I'm like, am I doing this right? Am I going about this right? So you kind of just have to take everything in stride and just keep practicing and asking the questions until they get the right answer. So that's one of our first little ride around, wander around pieces that we did together. And, you know, a lot to work on, but still definitely progress, and very excited to share this with you and to share future stuff as we explore all of this. So just wanted to keep the chronicle going, and thanks for watching, and excited to show you our next journey.
Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright.